What's up, guys? It's Kictor, and welcome back to another Tgcf read-through. But first, how's everybody been? I haven't seen you in so long. What's up, everybody? I miss everybody. Oh my goodness, who we got here? We got Rosita, Just Another, Annika, Little Platat, R.A., Horror Girl, now 13th. We got Cesar Snape. We got Crustacean, Ma Monroe, Arwen, and we got so many others. Oh my god, we got Rogue, we got Kate, we got Sparkmazer, we got Wizard of Moz. Hello! Long time no see. Yes, I was gone for a whole week in Montana, and it was so hot. It was so hot. Oh my god, Katriana, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sending some stars. Rogue says, hell yeah, you can do the anime light off the glasses thing now. Oh yes. They are very reflective. So we'll see. But yes, ching. Hello, Orion, Black and Green Tea. What's up? We just finished filming the TikTok React video, and there were like 9,000 beef leaf videos in that. So I'm having a very beef leaf day today already. Kenzie, thank you so much for sending some floating hearts. Ooh, oh my goodness. And Quinn, thank you for donating. Quinn says, welcome to the nerd herd, fellow Glassless wearer. Thank you very much. I think the best compliment I've gotten so far was Stitch saying that they look yaoi coded. I was like, thank you. Thank you, Dre Hop, for sending a high five. What did you guys get up to while I was gone? Hopefully not reading any TGCF. T says, fuck yes, that's what I need. Fuck yes. Kate says, why are you really hot in your glasses? Oh my god, stop! Oh my god! You're objectifying me. Keep going. Oh my gosh. Eepiness says, you picked a great frame. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was, I panicked, but the lady in the store actually picked these out for me, so. Thank you, lady in the store. She was very nice. Oh, Dre Hop, thank you for donating a follower. Welcome. And who got it? Viola. Thank you so much. Amy got a new laptop. That's exciting. Horror Girl, thank you for being a member for 6 months, and says, 6 months in, I saw the Odyssey movie, 10 out of 10. Oh, that's nice. That's awesome. I'm seeing it next week on Thursday. Moss says, I got kind of a major promotion at work. Oh, F's in the chat. Thank you, Kenzie. That's awesome. Oh my god, congrats on your major promotion. That's wicked. And Ketriella, thank you so much for sending another gift membership. Oh my gosh. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And welcome Erin to the membership. And oh, Sugar Kiss. Thank you so much, Sugar Kiss. What? Thank you so much for sending 5 gift memberships. Oh my god, look at them. They're dancing on my screen. Oh my god, we should have more gifts that dance like this. We need to bring back dancing Jung Chung. I miss him. Thank you so much, Sugar Kiss. I hope you've been doing good. I've been keeping up with your stories. And Quinn says, can you take them off and bite the end and smile for us? You have to pay me a little bit more than that for fan service. I don't know. Thank you so much, Quinn. Kenzie says, guys, Sugar Kiss is sending me a new Labubu because I got mine stolen off my purse. Oh my god, someone stole your fucking Labubu? That's evil. I can't believe Sugar Kiss is so nice, though. That's so nice. Oh my god. Briarbox says, Kictor, you look like a mix of large-eyed nerd and assistant to Miles Edgeworth. You couldn't have made a better choice. Nice. Very scholarly, very neat. Wow, thank you. Such incredible praise. Quinn didn't hesitate to send $50. Jeez. What if I was like, sorry, not enough. Oh my god. Oh my god. Kate says it costs at least $100 to objectify Kictor. You guys are crazy! Catriella says best I can do for fan service is $2. You guys are crazy. It's just me. It's not like it's Stitch. I'd pay $100 to see Stitch do anything. Oh my god. Quinn. Quinn. Oh, Quinn. Quinn. Sienna says, good news in employment department. I got an interview next week. I need some good luck vibes. Oh, sending you good luck. Sending you good luck. Rogue says, true. I already based my Taylor Fick character off you and Stitch. Wait, what? Really? Oh my god. Now that you have glasses as well as, oh my god. Oh my god. Better things could not have been spoken. Holy shit. Thank you so much. I'm so honored. That's crazy. Rachel says your haircut is immaculate as well. Oh my god. I should leave for a week more often. I come back to so many compliments. Thank you. Ken says here's $5 to the fan service. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, wait. You guys are ridiculous. Kate says, please don't leave us. Kate, what have you been up to lately? Have you been drawing like crazy? It's the triple combo of glasses, hair, and earring. Oh my goodness. Wow, I can't believe like I went my whole life not having short hair, and then I feel like I look a lot better with short hair. And now this whole time I could be wearing glasses. It's crazy. Kate says, I've actually not been drawing like crazy, but I've been reading Missville. Oh, nice, nice. How have you been enjoying it? Apple Dash, thank you so much for being a member for 22 months. And says, hi, I want to update you on how my birthday went. Oh, how was your birthday? Spark Ranger says, I gotta catch up on reading for real. Keep this look forever. Oh my gosh, you guys are too nice. You're too nice. Rogue says, I honestly can't imagine you with long hair. When I saw your Shenching Cho cosplay in the skit video, I was like, who? Oh my god, you guys. Yeah, I've only had short hair for a few years now. I used to have long hair. And it did not look good. I'll tell you that much. One day I will show you the pictures. Kate says it's like if you took Qualian but smushed it with Scum Villain and a pinch of Case File just to keep things fun. Interesting. Have you gotten to the who is it? Is it the Snake Boy that everybody likes? Spark Major says, I've seen long hair Kictor and I love her. Spark Major, you're too nice. Rose City Kimono says, halfway through Wife Comes First 3. I'm enjoying it, although I don't think as much as Stitch likes the story. Wait. Oh, Wife Comes First. Right. Yeah, no, Stitch loves Wife Comes First. I actually almost finished a book. Surprise. The fucking, here, wait, let me go get it. I'll be right back. Stitch, they're treating me like a stripper. As they should. Stitch says you're allowed to treat me like a stripper after all. Orion's Belt, thank you for donating. Orion says, once I chopped off all my hair, I gained like 50 confidence points, so I get it. Also, I started 1,000 Autumns, and I love these weirdos. Ooh, very nice. I'd love to hear more of your thoughts on that. This book, okay, it's Seven Seas published it. It's by this Korean author. It won a bunch of awards for like sci-fi in Korea like a bunch of years ago. It's not BL, but it has like a huge ship in it, you know? Like we've been very spoiled by all these canon gay couples recently, and I went back to my roots of shipping characters together. And this book is fucking cool. I'm almost done it. I think it's like there's gonna be multiple books in the series, but it's the one about the dentist that goes to work in the undersea. There's like this fucking undersea village. They're mining for resources in the near distant future. It's kind of apocalyptic, and there's the sexy engineering captain that is his complete opposite, pretty much, because he's like a meek little dentist, and something fucking crazy happens. But when the dentist meets the captain, there's literally 3 paragraphs of him describing how handsome he is. So it's super gay. Spark Major says, I will never forgive gorgeous, gorgeous man. Yes. He's super gay. Yeah, where's Moran? Okay, Quinn, I feel bad for you. What do you want? I don't know. I'm not sexy. I feel like Stitch is the sexy one. How do you bite your glasses sexily? Like this? I gotta practice it. I gotta practice it. Maybe it'll just come to me one day. Gotta whip them off. Ooh. Ooh, you love this, don't you? Are you happy you paid $50 for this? Oh my gosh. Spazzy says, we are gay. Feed us, mother. We demand to be fed. Sparkrader says, literally, he didn't talk about that for anybody, just the engineer. Yeah, there's like tons of like beautiful women around him too, and he's just like, oh yeah, like there are these women. They were muscular and cool. But this engineer, oh my god, he's so sexy. Oh my gosh, you guys are ridiculous. Jaded Chaos says, I've been reading TGCF for the first time myself. I'm already halfway through book 2. Before all of this, my info came from the Donghua and the manhwa. Oh, nice! I hope you have been loving it. TGCF, the book is just so good. It's just so good. Oh, Night Owl's laser is back. That's great. Sparkranger says, he did get pinned down by the engineer, and you know what? I'm taking it. Yes. Leo, you procrastinated. No, how could you? Stitch is also working on some Con Crunch stuff right now. Orion says, he doesn't appreciate the buff woman. That should be me. Amy the Lizard says, yeah, I was like, dude, there's Danmei characters who have inner monologued less about hot guys when I read that part, right? Right? And Mirai is in the chat. Guys, I met Mirai in person in Montana at the convention, and they were cool as hell. That was probably the highlight of the trip, honestly. Stitch and I got to chat with them for a long time. That was cool. Sparkrader says, I'm crunching too. I'm not built for this. What are you crunching for? Rogue says, I be con crunching too. Almost done though. Yay! That's awesome. I'm so excited to see you. Mirai says, can I share the pics I took with you in the community? Yeah, absolutely. Crustacean says, I got a friend of mine into Danmei. They were trying to watch Have an Official's Blessing and having a difficult time, so instead I indoctrinated them into all the Danmei fandom because they asked. Impeccable, impeccable. Being able to describe what Danmei is to someone without making it sound confusing or boring is a skill. Tamarinia says, is that the guy with the shark-themed office? Yeah, yes, the shark-themed dentist office. Rogue says it's a full Ace Attorney con for me. Yes! Yes! I wish I could be full Ace Attorney, man. But I made all these plans with people. One of these people being my wife. No, I want to be all Rugio. I'm very excited for our Witch Hat meetup. Apple Dash says, Mom, Dad, and I went to Brown's social house, and for the birthday cake, it was a custom cake with Wen Rohan on it. Oh my god! Oh my god, Ren Rohan on your birthday cake. That's incredible. That's incredible. Leo says, I'm so excited to meet you guys in a few days. Plus, I've been obsessed with Witch Hat, so I'm really looking forward to the Witch Hat meetup. Yay! Oh, me too. I'm really excited to meet you in person. That'll be wicked. Horror Girl says, does anyone know how to deal with a jerk on social media? Firstly, if you have the ability to delete their comment, just delete it. Just delete it and block them. You don't need to waste any effort on them. Don't even reply. It bothers me so much when I see creators replying to negative comments on their own content. It's like, it's your fucking house. You're just gonna let someone come into your house and shit on you? Just delete, just banish them. You're like, sorry, you're in my house. It's like if you comment on someone else's post and then they start fighting with you or whatever, that's one thing. But it's like, you're commenting on my fic? Goodbye. Forever. Thunk. And I feel like that's also the quickest way to like not dwell on the negative feeling. Like if you do ever encounter like a mean comment, it's like that can really sting. But it's just like thump, gone from existence. And if you can block them, you'll never ever see them again. Moss says Glasses character is suddenly authoritative and sexy. This is fantastic. Yeah, and I get it. I understand how much like wanting to fight with someone and wanting to like justify yourself and be like, no, like fuck you, how could you say that? Is, but like it's like you came to my house? Goodbye. Thunk. Thank you for donating, Dre Hop. Are you, Captain Snow says, are you interested in Minecraft SMPs? There's one SMP called the Life Series. I actually went down an interesting rabbit hole, learning about Minecraft SMPs with a new friend of mine. And I had no idea what it was until recently. So I'm completely in the dark, but it does sound very interesting. Arwen says, I've come upon Tianlin Jun and Yue Qingyan as a ship, and I feel the urge to populate the tag. Wait, Tianlin Jun? Oh! I'm like, do they even interact? Not that that's a problem. Chuya is asking for a hug. I'll give you a big hug. Moss says, I also support this ship. Oh my goodness. Incredible. Incredible. We will look at the community. Let's jump on the community. Okay, guys, quit dogpiling in the chat. Let's look at some community artwork. Oh my god, right off the bat, there's already something amazing. Let me just set this up real quick. Okay. 6 minutes ago, Peerless Cucumber says, my progress so far on the Oxcart scene. Sanlong is testing my patience and he has too many layers. Bald Sanlong is actually a look. This is incredible. Oh my god, all of the hay. The detail in the hay, I haven't tried doing, like, clay stuff since I was, like, a little kid. So, this is just so impressive to me. That is awesome. Oh my god, RA is trying, says, Click on the image for the full thing. I meant to post this, but I got bored last night, so I kept drawing this meme and getting suggestions from my brother's friends. Ships included Hushe, Zuka, Satosugu, and Ivan Till. Oh my gosh. I love that yaoi meme. At the con, Stitch and I cosplayed Miles Edgeworth and Cinderella, and one of our friends drew fan art of it. And says comp het slop. Let me fix this. Incredible. Oh, we got King of Demonic Betrayals. That is a good way to describe him indeed. Nice. And Miss Rosie says, I've got a few things I'll be bedazzling during the stream. Oh, nice. Bedazzling. What are you bedazzling? Oh, sick, Kiara. A whip on my white no-face cosplay. I finished making the staff. That is awesome. Oh my gosh. That looks really fucking cool. That is an awesome prop to have. Oh, that's so cool. That is really sweet. Hey, Esper Lady, and thank you. Oh, Arwen! I want that little Till. Damn it. Stitch and I did the blind box for that guy and we didn't get him. That's so funny. You need to find his boyfriend. Going to the mall. Incredible. I hope you have the best blind box luck and find your Ivan Till. Stitch and I were cosplaying Ivan Till on the weekend, and we were taking pictures kissing in an alleyway, and somebody walked in on us, and it was like a businessman, and he was in a suit. And he took a phone call and he just continued to stare at us. Like, he didn't feel awkward or walk away or anything. Like, we like broke apart and we were like, ah, and like kind of started packing up, and he just continued to stare. Like, room for one more? We're like, oh, okay, you're a Fujo businessman. Oh my gosh. Okay, these are incredible. I love this shirt on Sunlong. I can't wait. Oh, whoa! Wait, there's a ship? You can go on a ship? The bonefish had sad vibes as it retreated. Oh my god. Save the bonefish t-shirts. Oh my god. We gotta jump in on Tomodachi life. Oh my god, Victor and Yuri. That's so cute. Incredible work. This tea says, Hushwen Snack Bar opened a location in Seattle. Master Hu's pan-fried buns. And even, like, canonly in TGCF, Hushwen's family has, like, the Hu family snacks little food truck thing, you know? That's so awesome. Oh, Yonli, that's so cute. T says they also sold beef noodle soup. Oh, nice. Also, I love beef noodle soup. Spazzy, don't be sad. Peanut Jr. is never sad. He's always happy. He's always smiling. I promise you he's doing good. Miss Rosie, thank you for donating. Miss Rosie says, I will be bedazzling a painted snake and fan tonight for my Jujilong cosplay. I am making a sparkly snake armada for a con next month. Oh, that is cool. I am very excited to see that. That is really cool. Oh my gosh. Please show us pictures of that. Oh, Crustacean, or Crusteezy, says, I've never read Casefell, but I drew this extra special for Aria's drawing. That's so sweet. Drawing each other's favorite characters for each other is so cute. Spazzy says, watching the Kictor / Coley Does Things Would You Rather video, that was so fun. I love Coley. And would you rather Shi Qingxuan or Hushuen have a happy ending? What if they ended up together? Yes, that is the correct answer. Oh, RA. This is very cute. Very cute. Ooh. Yes! Oh, wait, is this the same Charmander I have? We might have matching little baby Charmanders. Whoa, did you draw this? That is cool. Oh my gosh. Look at like the skin and like, oh my gosh, that is really, really cool, DT Cat. Spark Ranger says, but is your Charmander dabbing? I wish, I wish. Miss Rosie says, I plan to name all the snakes after fruit. Oh, cute. Thank you for donating, Miss Rosie. Stitch just texted me, "Seize your seductions, you unholy wench." Are you in the chat? Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Stitch likes my new glasses a lot. Hushy Doodles. Oh, look at them. They're so cute. Put on the bunny ears. Put on the bunny ears. And I'll put on the wolf ears and I'll hunt you. Oh my gosh. These are so cute. These are so cute. Oh my goodness. Did you sew these yourself? This is adorable. Oh my gosh. Also, Brayley, did you say your imposter syndrome is kicking in? I will kick your imposter's ass. Because, oh my god, Brayley, you are such a fucking incredible artist. There is nothing that you should be worried about at all, dude. Like, oh my god, you're crazy. I shake you. You're a crazy person. You're literally so pro. Oh my gosh. Matt Monroe has been a member for 3 months and says Crunchyroll upgraded all Yuri on Ice on YouTube for the 10th birthday. Oh yeah, that's so crazy. I'm watching for the first time. It will be available for 30 days. I should make a video on that. Yeah, that's so cool. I love that it's available free on YouTube. That's so awesome. Usually stuff like that is only like in Japan, you know? Like I remember when they like re-released number 6 on YouTube and everyone was super mad because it was only in Japan you could access it. Because you can't watch number 6 anywhere unless you like have the DVD or pirate it. Oh, nice! Evil Tetris Master is going to be shown in the fair. That's awesome. That is really, really fucking cool. I hope you won! Number 1 MPreg candidate. Oh my god. And Kofu. Oh my god. Literally vibrating. I saw this earlier. The Yeebling Patriarch. I would buy this as a sticker in a fucking instant. Oh my god. Look at him. The pose and the colors and the lighting and the shading and just his fucking 2 sunglasses is so funny. It's so funny. Oh my god. It's just amazing. And then look at Pay Bling. So fucking good. Isn't this amazing? Blew me away. Isn't that so funny? Oh my god. Absolutely incredible. Oh my gosh, incredible. Some nice sketches from RA. Oh, some paper stars from Kit Poe. Very nice. We have a friend that's really good at making those stars. Cute. Very nice. Oh my god, yes, these heels. Walk a mile in my Louboutins. They are $2,230 in money, but how many of you cosplayers would buy them for your Hushwan cosplay? Peanut Jr. on the feet. Oh my god, Mace, thank you so much for donating. Holy shit. Oh my gosh, Mace, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Mace says, the glasses suit you, kicked her. Thank you. Plus, I hope y'all had fun on your trip. We did. I about died 3 times on Monday. Oh. So I can now say I about died 5 times in my life. Also rat boob. How? What? Mace, what happened? What happened to make you die? Oh my god. I'm glad you're okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Please, please, please stay safe, Mace. Ooh. Krusty says, swords from the priest book, surprisingly full of sorrows caused by raging fires. Yes. Yes. Oh, some peerless. When the man left, that they were... When, that'll do. Very nice. Oh, you got some anime stuff? Nice. More peerless boys. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Even modern medicine has its limits. We were too late. Look, they got Peanut Jr. hooked up. Just the emotion on their faces. It's so fucking funny. Don't worry, he's okay. He's Peanut Jr. He's a bonefish now. the fucking, like, IVs just going into his eye socket. This is so, so funny, Hannah. Oh, really? It's the best pre-series so far, Spark Ranger. Interesting. High praise. It's quiet uptown. Oh my gosh. Oh, so many blind boxes. I don't think I've seen these ones yet. That's super cute. Oh, very sweet. I've got another con this weekend, and I'm hoping to find some more Danmei merch, too. There was actually... Oh! Do I have it? Actually, I got a little bit of Danmei merch at the little con in Montana. There was one person that made Jung Chung merch, and I bought that from them last year. Thank you, Anime Lover, for the sparkle. But there was another artist, and they had a modern Sanlong and Shailian in, like, modern clothes, and it was so freaking cute. Ooh, Hannah's gonna make an animatic too. Oh my god, I'm very excited for that. For Dynasty. Oh, great song. Great song. Very nice, very nice. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh my god. So cute. The Tomodachi's. Oh! Oh my gosh. That's so cute. I love everyone so much. Thank you for drawing my Tomodachi, guys. Wow, this is crazy. This looks beautiful. Jamie. Yay! Little Ghost Flame sticker. Yay! I'm so glad you liked your membership message. Hey, if you join the YouTube membership, everybody gets a handwritten letter and a sticker. If you join Ghost Flame tier or Supreme tier. Oh, whoa! Oh my god! I just love the box. Oh, he's so cute. Oh my god, this is the new birthday art. Oh, hell yeah! Oh my god, the umbrella. And it has a light on the bottom. That's so cool. And the ring? That's so awesome. Very nice, very nice. Oh, more Peerless fan art. Incredible. Yes, you have to fill out the Jot form. Oh, nice. Oh my god, throwing the rose and getting the rose thrown at. Ooh, some Hualian outfits. Oh, very nice. I love it. I love it. I love casual Hualian. You guys, you gotta fill out the jot form. When you join Ghost Flame tier or Supreme tier, there is a jot form link, and you fill it out with your address and a question for me, and I will send you a letter in the mail. This is so cute. Oh my gosh, making a needle felt Shalian. Dan may meet up at any Revo. Yes, Junwoo and Elrugio are voiced by the same person. About the YouTube membership, I forget that lots of people are just gifted memberships, or maybe join and don't like watch the perk video or like go to the perk section, which I appreciate. That means that you just joined because you wanted to join. I'm always looking at it from the angle of like, oh, like if you're gonna join, you really want to like read everything or watch everything so you know what you're getting into beforehand. But you should be able to just go to the membership perk area, and then there should be the link there. Let me know if it's not there. Because I definitely want to make sure anybody that is a Ghost Flame gets their letter. Rogue says, my phone died and I came back to the best little guy. Oh my god. Wizard of Moss says, I definitely did not know how to do it. I didn't know that people didn't know how to do it because I get a lot of them, and it takes a long time to be doing all the letters and stuff, so I can't imagine the amount of letters I have been doing from people that didn't know that it was even a thing. These are all super cute, you guys. And then we're back to this art. Oh my gosh, incredible. Also, this is like, should be obvious, but like, don't share the link anywhere, because only people that are of Ghost Flame or Supreme tier should have access to it, and it would like fuck up my whole system. These are super cute. Okay, sorry everybody. I got a little bit flustered there because I felt bad that people didn't know where the link was, and I was trying to off the top of my head I was like, I think it's over here. Ah, yes. Okay, so if you go to my channel and you click membership, it says what your perks are. And then go to free sticker and handwritten welcome. And when you click on that, the link will come up. And yes, I will ship anywhere. I buy the international stamps and USA stamps. And this is how I know all of you are from Texas. Haha, I can see you. You guys have found it because I'm getting alerts. Kate, did you really not know about it? Oh my gosh. You can redeem your letter whenever you like. Oh my gosh. Zara Snape, thank you so much for upgrading to Ghost Flame. Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Esper Lady says, I didn't know about the letter until a few months ago and I've been a member for a few years. That's so funny. Yes, well, if you would like a and you can ask me any question and I reply in a handwritten note, and I take a lot of time to put my heart into them nicely. And then you also get the little Ghost Flame sticker. Kate says, and I got a sticker? Oh my god, Vitral. Spark Pager says, this is the funniest thing ever. What should I even ask? Yeah, think about it. Think about it. Don't you, cause you get access to me asking questions during all the live streams too. So what do you want me to answer in a handwritten note? CC Newbie, thank you so much for donating. CC Newbie says, binge watched Witch Hat Atelier last week and loved it. Nice! Oh, I'm so glad. Now I need to get the manga. I also bought a brush buddy for Annie Revo, even though I don't have a witch hat costume, but it might not come in time. Hey, Stitch will be handing out little baby brush bugs if you want one at Annie Revo. Spark Major says, can I be YouTuber for a day? XOXO Spark Major. Spark Major, you know I'd let that happen. I'd figure out a way that we could do a video together and you could take over the channel for a day. I would let you do that. Quinn, thank you for donating again. Quinn says, I keep my note on my Dan bookshelf. Oh, how sweet. Crustacean says, I appreciated your answer to mine. Thank you. Thank you. Rogue says, tiny brush buddies, you say. Yes, indeed. Little baby brush buddies. Spark Printer says, oh my god, I'd actually feel so perceived. I think that'd kill me. We could do like a drawing video together or something. Where you wouldn't have to talk. You could text. Oh my gosh, Leo, this is so cute. The matching hat for your brush buddy is so cute. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. You look amazing. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's perfect. That is so cute. Also, oh yes, wait, this is Mirai. This is Mirai, who I got to meet. Look, that's me and Stitch. That's so cute. Aww. Here you get the full heights. Look, Mirai's taller than me. And I'm taller than Stitch. And Mirai immediately said that I seem... Wait, I'm much taller looking in person. And then we got even to see each other the next day too. So cute. And you see the Yi-Bling robes on as well. Yeah, it was awesome, awesome, awesome getting to meet you in person. Covering our feet? That's hilarious. Censored, ... Oh, that's so cute. You look amazing as Hua Chung too. I Hua Chung. Oh, very cute, Ziggy. Aww. Xiaojiu. Oh, cute, horror girl. That's awesome. Nice. Mirai says my hair saved me from wigs. Yeah, you have awesome, like, long, straight hair. That's wicked. May says, honestly, if you want to hear the stories from my near-death experiences, I can also text the stories to you. Put them in the chat! I want to see them! If you so wish. Thank you for donating, though, Mace. Thank you. And, oh, Little Sheba. Little Sheba in the chat. Thank you so much. Leo says, I had to hand sew my brush buddy because my sewing machine really didn't like the fluffy fabric. Oh, very nice. Well, it looks amazing. Manny Pottery says, just stopping by to hang out until the reading starts since I haven't caught up yet. I'm almost finished with book 5 and always have your stream on for each chapter read together. Oh, that's awesome. I hope you've been enjoying it. Rogue says, my friend who supplied the fabric for my brush buddy has since co-adopted him. They have not read or watched Witch Hat, but they have asked me multiple times how our pipe cleaner son is doing. That's so cute. How is my pipe cleaner son? The co-adoption is real. That's so cute. Catriella, thank you for sending some stars. Mace, censor them to the best of your ability. Yes, I do think it is a corgi, but I like to call it a Shiba. The Shibas went so crazy when we came home. Kate says, doing a drawing video with Spark before me. I'm facing Shen Chao levels of betrayals here. Spark asked to take over my YouTube channel. I think that would be really fun, though, if we did some sort of drawing video. RA just said that they'd like to do that, too. One day. I'm still practicing drawing, though. I've been drawing a lot. The reason I got glasses really was so that I could draw more without getting dizzy. Okay, it's 4 minutes to 6 o'clock. I'm gonna just go get a drink, and then let's start the reading. Kate being in charge of Gartic Phone. Oh yeah, who's gonna keep watch? Shu Wanning will keep watch.
guys better be behaving in here. Okay, don't let... Put these on. Don't let this fool you. She's not gonna discipline you. Okay? This is a big softie right here. You need to be nice to her. Okay? I'm the legitimate Megana in this household. Alright, I'm the one who's gonna come in here and tell you behave. Hope everyone's doing well after our little vacation. Don't make me come in here. I'll turn this stream around. I have to assert my alpha dominance since there's now another Megane I need to compete with. I don't know if there's like a Danme word for Megane, but that's what I'm going to be saying for now.
Were glasses invented back then?
I don't know.
Ask Guyan.
Guyan has one.
Spark Major says, Stitch, tell us how much you like the glasses.
I plead the fifth. I like them a lot, though. Don't they look so good? Take those off. Those are for me. My eyes only. I mean, I guess you need them to see, but don't worry about that. Thank you, lovey. My little Omega. Wait!
I didn't even realize she said that. Oh my god. Oh. What the hell? Rogue says, I would argue they're for Kictor eyes only, but I love the sentiment. Excuse me, I was just harassed. Stitch reminding us Kictor is a married woman. Exactly. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, turning the music off. And let's jump in. Oh wow, it's so easy to read now. Chapter 94. Oh wait, Crustacean, thank you so much for becoming a member again. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. Oh yeah, we ended off on a scary part. So, what just happened was, they confessed. It was so cute. And then they found Lang Ying was pierced through on one of the statues of Shailian. So, let's find out what that means. Chapter 94, From the Sealed Kiln, One Supreme Shall Emerge. Lang Ying's head had drooped to the side as though he'd lost consciousness. When Shailian saw him, he moved to save him without thinking, but he stopped dead in his tracks as his mind caught up with the situation. There was no one besides White No-Face here, so why would Lang Ying suddenly appear? Seeing that the pure, holy statue of the god-pleasing crown prince had been corrupted by dripping blood, Hua Cheng was obviously furious. His dark expression radiated rage, and the scimitar Ming exuded a chilling aura. "Get the hell down," he said. With that, Lang Ying's drooping head actually heated and righted itself. He blinked open his eyes, then slowly pulled himself off the sword and drooped to the ground. Kate, thank you for being a member for 25 months. Kate says, did my member message go through? Why do I have another one? I did not see your earlier one, Kate. I'm sorry. Also, yes, Hua Cheng is very sexy right now, being like, you dare desecrate a statue of my beloved? When White No-Face blew up the wave of silver butterflies that had surrounded him, he had used the distraction that the blinding silver light provided to hide himself under this divine statue's white veil. Then, he'd transformed. If he could disguise himself as Lang Ying, it meant he must have seen the boy somewhere before. This is fucking creepy. So it's like, the evil demon that's haunting you then suddenly appears as, like, one of your friends, but it's a friend that you haven't had very long. So you're like, how the fuck does he know Lang Ying? Where's the real Lang Ying? Shalian demanded. Your Highness, maybe there never was a real Lang Ying, Hua Cheng said. If Lang Ying never existed to begin with, and was only White No-Face in his weakened form, everything would be easy to explain. But when Shalian remembered the girl Xiao Ying who had died on Mount Yujin, he wished that explanation made less sense than it did. Shalian swiftly thought of another possibility. Or perhaps he devoured Lang Ying. If White No-Face was Lang Ying the whole time, that would be so fucked up. The Lang Ying from before them was growing taller. His body stretched upward and the bandages on his face unwrapped and dropped away to reveal the mask beneath. He lifted his head slightly when he heard Shalian's guess and seemed to smile. You guessed right. So it was true. After White No-Face was pulverized and dispersed by Junwu, all that was left of him was a wisp of a broken soul wandering the mortal realm. He drifted for who knew how long, and at some point in all that time, he met the ghost Lang Ying. He must have somehow coaxed or deceived Lang Ying into hosting him within his own body, since his remnant soul might have been too weak to devour him outright. He had stayed glued to Lang Ying's body and gradually recovered, and the end result was standing before Shalian and Hua Cheng. Ghost devouring ghost. White No-Face had bitten the hand that fed him, his host Lang Ying. Just as He Xuan had devoured the Reverend of Empty Words, Lang Ying had become White No-Face's slave. It only took a few moments for Lang Ying to completely transform into White No-Face. Rogue says, I love any sort of spooky transformation where the body warps. Very creepy in a good way, right? Like, I'm stretching taller. Ugh. It only took a few moments for Lang Ying to completely transform into White No-Face. Hua Cheng eyed him. Why would Lang Ying agree to lend you his spirit body? A request like that would be like a stranger asking a homeowner to open their doors and allow them to live there and eat their food. Lang Ying had survived as a ghost for hundreds of years. Although he was timid and hesitant, he shouldn't have been so foolish. I can, of course, provide an answer to your question, White No-Face replied amiably. But are you sure the one beside you wants to hear it? Oh, fuck. One thing I will say, White No-Face knows how to push their buttons. Hua Cheng looked at Shalian, whose expression was slightly strange. He surprisingly didn't notice the gaze sent his way. Surname Lang, young An, and he suffers from human face disease, White No-Face said. Why did he agree to let me eat him? Can't you guess? Shalian's face instantly went pale. Veins popped on the backs of his hands, and he swung his sword with a shout of, Shut up! White No-Face sidestepped and avoided the strike, but Shalian's attack sliced through the sword in the hands of his own divine statue. Now he'd done it. He'd left the god-pleasing Crown Prince statue wielding a broken sword, making the statue itself a ruined artifact. Shalian snapped out of his frenzy like he'd been drenched by a bucket of cold water. The wraith butterflies seemed outraged and swarmed over. White No-Face appeared completely unbothered and gave a toneless laugh as he covered his face with his sleeve. In an instant, he vanished into the darkness, leaving their conflict entirely. Shalian stared at the broken stone sword on the ground. I'm sorry, he murmured to Hua Cheng automatically. Hua Cheng cut him off. Isn't it silly for your highness to apologize to me? He's gone. Now what? I love that. Don't be silly, Gaga. Shalian pulled himself together somewhat. Did he flee? We can't let him enter the kiln. The pair hurried out of the cave of 10,000 gods and back onto the snowy mountain. Right as they made it outside, they felt the earth quake and the mountain shake. Looking up, they saw even more waves of snow crashing down. The roaring avalanche was even larger than the one they had experienced before. It was as if something massive buried under the heavy snow was just waking up, and it was roaring and shaking off thousands of years of built-up snow. Can we still make it up there? Shalian cried. Hua Cheng gripped his hand firmly. We can if you follow me. They faced off against the crashing current of ice and snow. Their passage was grueling and perilous, and for every step forward they were forced 3 steps back, but they managed to avoid the most violent waves of snow and rubble and the countless pits that blazed their trail up the mountain. Finally, they reached the highest point. The volcano's peak was coated in an unfathomably thick layer of ice. Shalian thought he'd slip if he tried going even a bit faster, but Hua Cheng led him by the hand and moved forward with steady, fearless steps. He's so sexy. The pair came before the volcano's enormous mouth, a cavernous maw that seemed to snarl at the heavens. When Shalian peered into its depths, he saw nothing but complete darkness. Maybe it was his imagination, but he thought he saw a red light pulsing horribly in the deepest recesses. Sometimes it was there, sometimes not. Shalian could feel himself starting to panic. He held his bamboo hat to his head and to keep it from being blown away by the snowy winds. Did he go in already? Hua Cheng glanced inside, and his expression turned grim. Yes. How do you know? The kiln is closing. That caught Shalian off guard. What's going on? Why is it closing so soon? Don't there need to be at least a few ghosts inside before the slaughter can begin? That's usually true, Hua Cheng said. However, if the kiln believes an entrant has an extremely high chance of breaking through, it will close upon their request. After a pause, he added, That's what I did back then. He's so cool! So is he a supreme or not? Shalian asked. What will happen if a supreme ghost king enters the kiln again? It's like getting your pizza crust double cooked, you know? The same thing that happens to an ascended heavenly official facing another heavenly tribulation. In other words, his strength would increase exponentially. If they allowed White No-Face to pass this obstacle, the consequences were unimaginable, and once he emerged from the mountain, Shalian would surely be the first one he'd seek out. After eyeing that infinite bottomless abyss for a while, Shalian said slowly, Sanlong, I might need to go down there to resolve this. Then go. I'll come with you, Hua Cheng replied quietly. Supreme pizza. Stuffed crust, perhaps? He always comes with him, yes. Also, I saw earlier someone write about the competency kink. It's like Hua Cheng can run up the mountain without falling. He's so sexy. He's being tempered like metal, yes. Shalian gazed at him. Hua Cheng looked up and met his eyes. He cocked an eyebrow and smirked. All we're doing is heading inside to eliminate an eyesore, then breaking through the kiln again. That's it. It's not like it's hard. It's not like it's hard. Ah! Seeing him so relaxed, Shalian's tensed emotions loosened a little as well, and he smiled. A moment later, Hua Cheng said, However, there is one thing. Shalian made a curious noise and tilted his head. One of Hua Cheng's arms suddenly snaked around Shalian's waist and pulled him into his arms, and he lifted Shalian's chin gently with his hand. And then Hua Cheng enveloped Shalian's lips with his own. They kissed and embraced for a long time in the snowstorm before their lips slowly parted. He gave him a big kiss. And then Hua Cheng enveloped Shalian's lips with his own. They kissed and embraced for a long time in the snowstorm before their lips slowly parted. Shalian was dazed for a good moment before he jolted out of his stupor. Flushed, he opened his eyes. What was that all of a sudden? Hey, Reina, thank you so much for donating. And there's a picture. I love that Hua Chung kissed him. Also, I love how it's like, when it says, like, they kissed and embraced for a long time, and then Shalian's like, whoa, what was that? It's saying they kissed. It's saying, like, he was an active participant. You can't just kiss being completely still for a long time. Like, your lips are moving against Hua Chung's, you know? Like, you're an active participant in this little embracing session, you know? Although it wasn't the first time they'd done this, they had always used grand, dignified reasons to justify their actions. Things like lending spiritual powers, transferring air, or it was simply an accident. But now that certain things had been made clear, those excuses were exposed as falsehoods, and their actions were abruptly far more significant. I love that. I love that. That every time they ever kissed, it was because they just wanted to kiss. It says that in the text. Shalian didn't know where to put his hands. Should he cling to Hua Chung's arms or push him away? Should he press Hua Chung's head down or block his face? Hua Chung puffed a breath into his ear. "I'll lend your highness a bit of spiritual power in case of an emergency," he whispered. "Won't you accept it?" He's gone full-blown coquettish wife now at this point. Oh my god. He's seducing him! Shalian unconsciously gulped. This is a bit?" he stuttered. "It seems like too much. I haven't paid you back for all the times before." "It's not that much, and there's no rush," Hua Chung said. "Take your time paying it back. The account will clear one day." Shalian made a few vague noises of agreement and was just about to run away when Hua Chung pulled him to a stop. Rogue says, "I do love that in a world of kissing used as a plot device, spiritual power exchange, there is a little note like, no, but they also really enjoy it, and it makes them happy." Yeah, 100%. It's like, yeah, every time we used spiritual energy as an excuse to kiss, it's like, we could have just high-fived. We wanted to kiss. Shalian made a few vague noises of agreement and was just about to run away when Hua Chung pulled him to a stop. "Your Highness, where are you going? You're running in the wrong direction," he pointed out. Only then did Shalian realize that he was running back the way they'd come. He quickly turned back around, slipping on the ice in the process. He pulled his bamboo hat down. I wasn't. I'm just a little cold. Thought I'd jog around a bit to warm up." He put on the bamboo hat, then pushed it off to carry it on his back, then put it on again. Finally, he grabbed Hua Chung's hand and held it tight. The pair stood side by side and looked into the immense abyss below. He just had to panic. Oh man, there's some art of this that I really love. I'll see if I can find it quickly. Okay, I can't find it. I will find it and I'll post it in the community later. The picture was shown, Sienna, but I'll show you it again. They're kissing. Hua Chung's voice was casual. "After this is resolved, I'll show Gaga my proudest achievement in sculpture." "Okay," Shalian replied. They jumped down together. We've come so far. We've come from, Sunlong jumping in the pit and Shalian having to follow after him. Now they're jumping into the pit hand in hand. Gusts of wind whipped past his ears so fiercely that it felt like waves crashing into him. But even that force couldn't separate their hands. They held onto each other even harder. Yet somehow, halfway down, Shalian's hand was empty. His grip hadn't slipped, and Hua Cheng hadn't let go. The hand he'd been holding in his own had simply disappeared in an instant, leaving behind nothing but emptiness. Shalian's heart lurched, and he shouted, "Sanlang!" He was falling so quickly that his cry was left dozens of meters above his head. It sounded unreal. It was a long time before Shalian finally landed steadily on his feet. He immediately stood upright and called out again, "Sanlang!" There was no answer. The hollow echo of the name told him the immense size of the empty space where he was standing. There was darkness all around, except for above. Shalian looked up. He could see a snow-white sky above his head, but it was gradually shrinking. That had to be the kiln's mouth closing. But where was Hua Cheng? Crackle. Whoosh. Shalian lit a palm torch, hoping to illuminate his surroundings and see what things were like down here. But the darkness was immeasurably deep, and his little flame couldn't show him anything. The firelight itself seemed to be absorbed by the indifferent dark void. Shalian hadn't controlled his powers well in his haste, and the flames erupted a little too high, nearly burning his face. Oh my god, he burns his eyebrows right off. He quickly tossed the fire to the ground. As it fell, the firelight just happened to illuminate the back of a faint white silhouette looming not far away. Shalian was instantly on guard. "Who's there?" The white silhouette turned around and answered evenly, "You know who I am." Although he answered, the muscles on the man's face did not move an inch. That was only natural, as he was wearing a half-crying, half-smiling mask. "Sanlang!" Shalian blurted. Even though the sight of that face sent terror shivering through him, Shalian hadn't cried out due to fear, but due to worry. Of course there was still no answer, and the crying, smiling mask came another step closer. Shalian automatically looked up again. Earlier, there had still been a small, snowy white sliver of sky, but that bit of light had been completely swallowed by the darkness around them. The kiln had truly sealed itself. Shalian had never expected things to turn out like this, trapped alone with White No-Face, just the two of them, locked inside the kiln. Just the two of them? Why was it just the two of them? Shalian gripped Fang Xin and pointed the sword at him. "What is going on here? Are you meddling again? Where is he? Where is he right now?" "Are you meddling again" is crazy to say to your, the man that has traumatized you the most. "Are you meddling again?" White No-Face clamped the edge of the sword between two fingers and flicked the blade with his other hand, making it ring clear and crisp. "He's gone." Shalian watched this and his eyes went cold. "Explain yourself clearly. What do you mean, gone?" "He doesn't want to follow you anymore. He left. He's dead. What do you think?" White No-Face said leisurely. Shalian's heart dropped at first, but that was followed immediately by a violent rage, and he struck. "Stop your nonsense!" White No-Face once again caught the blade effortlessly. Fine. I was indeed talking nonsense." Fine. I was indeed talking nonsense." Oh my god. "Don't worry, I simply sent him outside the kiln. Even if he wants to rush back in here, it's too late now." Shalian was fine with Hua Cheng trapped outside as long as it meant he was okay. He quietly sighed a breath of relief. "But it's probably for the best that he doesn't come in," White No-Face continued. "Even if he wouldn't agree right now, who knows if he'll still want to be with you when he sees what you'll become." That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Shalian couldn't formulate a response. His patience fully gone. He swung his sword again, yelling, "Shut up!" White No-Face easily dodged every single one of his strikes, and Shalian cried out in rage. "I've had enough of you! What do you want? What exactly do you want? How long are you going to keep clinging to me? Why aren't you dead? Why did you come to the kiln?" "Because of you!" White No-Face replied. Shalian's movement faltered and he huffed. "What do you mean?" "You came here, so I did too," White No-Face answered languidly. Shalian's expression twisted upon hearing that, but no matter how furious he was, how strong his murderous intent, it was as if White No-Face could always predict his next strike and avoided each attack by mere millimeters. The more Shalian struck, the more he understood one cruel fact. He couldn't win. That's right, White No Face said, like he was reading his mind. You can't win. As soon as he spoke those words, a blade pierced Shalian's wrist. Excruciating pain spread throughout his body, and Shalian's grip on his sword faltered. In the next second, White No Face grabbed him by the hair and yanked him backward, bashing him into the ground. Shalian's ears were ringing, his nose and mouth were filled with the metallic taste of blood, and his head swam. A little while later, Shalian felt a hand pull his head up from the shattered ground. A voice came from above. So sad, so pitiful. Shalian choked out a mouthful of blood. Every time I meet your highness, you always look like this, White No Face said. Makes one ache, makes one excited. Shalian swallowed another mouthful of blood, refusing to cough it out. Don't be too smug, he croaked. I might not be able to win against you, but someone can. Even if you emerge from the kiln, Jun Wu will just kill you again. Besides, there was still Hua Cheng. Yet White No Face replied, Who says I'm the one who will emerge from the kiln? Shalian was shocked. Not him? Who else could it be? White No Face lifted Shalian's face to look him in the eyes. Your Highness, I think you might have misunderstood, he said. Amiably, a Supreme certainly will emerge from the kiln, but it won't be me. It will be you. Thanks, Rogue. The whole thing that's like, oh yeah, will Hua Cheng still love you once he sees what you become? I like how the reader, it's like, we know, like, even if Shalian became the most fucked up monster in the world, Hua Cheng would still love him. But Shalian doesn't know that. Shalian still thinks that Hua Cheng doesn't know a lot about his past, you know? What did you say? Shalian stammered, shaken to the core. I'm not. He understood before he even finished his sentence. His body broke out in a cold sweat. That's right. That's exactly it, White No Face said. Congratulations. You finally understand my real objective. Isn't this the third path you love so much? Right now, the only beings inside the kiln were one supreme ghost and one god. On the surface, there were only two paths to take. Either White No Face would kill him and break through the kiln, or they could forget about leaving and remain trapped inside forever. But there was a third path. If Shalian killed himself, became a ghost, and defeated White No Face, then he could become a supreme and break through the kiln. It's like at this point you're like, yeah, this is the same author who wrote Modao Zushi for sure, hey? Hey, Sumo! Shalian struggled to snap out of his shock. What the hell do you want? Don't even think about it. Why must you go this far? Why would you force me to become a supreme? I'm not as crazy as you. Even if you want me to kill you, we both know that I can't. And if you feign defeat, the kiln might not recognize me. But White No Face replied, Is that right? You can't defeat me? Don't be so sure. As he spoke, he extended a hand. Thanks to the nearby firelight, Shalian could see that he was holding a mask, an exact duplicate of the one White No Face wore. Do you remember this crying, smiling mask? White No Face asked. It suits you well. Shalian's eyes bulged. Terror crawled into his mind like a densely packed tide of insects. Take it away! Take it away! Take it away! He forced out weakly. White No Face started to laugh. It seems your highness's memory isn't very good, so why don't you let me help you remember, He had no chance to protest. The tragically pale, crying, smiling mask melded with the infinite darkness as it was pressed heavily onto Shalian's face. Ah! Oh, fuck! We're so fucked! We're so fucking fucked, guys! Ah! Man. if you're new to the TGCF fandom, the fact that these books came out and got published in like 8 fucking volumes ruined the whole joke about book 4. But you can at least see that arc 4, this is arc 4. If you've ever heard anything about book 4, this is what we're fucking getting into, okay? Book 4 is so fucked up. It's so fucking fucked up, man. Orion, thank you for donating. It's good though. Like it's all backstory for so many characters that we like. But yeah, and like a part of me is worried. I was worried that maybe I'm hyping it up too much, but then I remember about like all the things that happened. I'm like, no, I'm not hyping it up enough actually. Oh man. Spazzy says, so what just happened? So Shalian thought he was jumping into the kiln with Hua Chung, but Hua Chung got zapped out of it by White No Face, and so he's down in the kiln with White No Face. And how the kiln works is whoever kills everybody in the volcano then gets like pooped out as a supreme ghost king. White No Face is already a supreme ghost king, so Hua Chung was like, if he wins, he'll come out even stronger. But White No Face doesn't care about winning or getting more powerful. He just wants to fucking mentally torture Shalian. So he's like, yeah, either I kill you and I jump out of here, but like I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound fun. Or you kill me, but like who knows if like Shalian doesn't think he's able to kill White No Face because he's not strong enough. And he's like, or the third path, you kill yourself and then you emerge as a ghost king. So it's pretty crazy. Chapter 95. Penny for a Wandering Soul on Lantern Night. Shalian jolted awake in horror. Drenched in a cold sweat, he shot upright from where he'd been lying and buried his face in his hands. He'd been jolted awake by a terrible nightmare. In it, his father and mother had committed suicide by hanging themselves with a white silk band. He had stared at their bodies with neither joy nor grief. He had no tears left to cry. Instead, he woodenly prepared another white silk band for himself. Just as he stuck his head into the knot, he saw a white-clad man standing below him. The man was wearing a cry-smiling mask and was jeering at him. His heart jumped. The knot tightened, and crushing suffocation seized him. And then he woke up. That's a good little, like, a preface for what's to fucking come. It was already daylight outside the window, and a voice came from the other side. Your Highness, are you awake? I'm awake, Shalian answered offhandedly. He violently panted for breath for a long while before he realized that he wasn't sitting on a bed, but a straw mat. Although it was layered with plenty of straw and was unusually soft, it still wasn't quite comfortable for him. Even now, he wasn't used to such crude, simple bedding. The one who had called for him was Feng Xin. He had gone out early in the morning and had just returned with food. And now, he was outside, urging Shalian to take his meal. Shalian acknowledged him and crawled out of bed. The sense of suffocation in his dream was too real, and Shalian's hand unconsciously went to his neck to touch it. He had only wanted to verify whether there really was a strangulation mark left there by a white silk noose, but unexpectedly, he did feel something. Shalian was startled at first, and he pounced to grab a mirror that had been tossed nearby on the ground. When he looked at his reflection, he realized he had been touching the band of black collar encircling his neck. He finally calmed himself and remembered everything. It was the cursed shackle. Shalian's fingers probed at it. There weren't many privileges afforded to those banished from the heavens, other than their now mortal forms aging slower than a normal human's. However, Junwoo had shown mercy when he made Shalian's cursed shackle, and had added some accommodating clauses. While the cursed shackle locked away Shalian's spiritual powers, it also sealed his age and his physical body. He could neither grow old nor die. Furthermore, Junwoo had told him this. Everything in your previous life shall be forgiven if you manage to ascend again, and this shackle will be removed. But being forced to wear it was a bone-deep humiliation. It was hardly different from a brand seared onto a criminal's face. Shalian grabbed a white silk band from nearby and moved to pull it over his head. Yet the moment he raised his hand, he recalled the terrifying feeling of slow strangulation from his dream. He hesitated. In the end, he still wrapped the white silk band thoroughly around his neck and the bottom half of his face before going out. Okay, so if you haven't realized, we are in the past, after Shalian's first banishment. Feng Xin and Mu Qing were already waiting for him outside. Feng Xin had brought back steaming hot buns, and Mu Qing was slowly munching on one. Feng Xin passed 2 over to Shalian, but Shalian lost his appetite when he saw how bland, dry, and crude they were. He shook his head, refusing them. Your Highness, you have to eat something in the morning. We have to work, and it's not the kind that gets done sitting around, Feng Xin said. Mu Qing didn't bother looking up. Yeah, you can turn it down, but there's nothing else to eat. You can pass out again if you want, but you'll still have to eat this in the end. Feng Xin glared at him. Watch your tone. Shalian had only lived as an ascended being for a few years, but he'd forgotten what it was like to need to eat. A few days ago, he had nearly fainted, and had only realized afterward that he hadn't eaten anything for several days. This was the incident Mu Qing was referring to. Ah. Yeah, Junwu gave him the cursed shackles. So, in the previous flashback arc, Shalian tried to, he got all his fingers in the war and everything, and he did the thing you're not supposed to do as a heavenly official. He came down to the earth and, showed himself to the mortals, right? And then they ended up burning everything, and they hated him, and he lost all of his powers, pretty much, because his devoted believers all toppled down his statues and shit. So kind of what we don't get to see is Shalian then being brought up to heaven and being banished. So Junwu banished him, gave him a cursed shackle, but it's an extra special one. Not only does it seal his powers, it made him unable to die, and also kept him permanently 17. Okay, let me get this back. So, Feng Xin says, Your Highness, you have to eat something in the morning. We have to work, and it's not the kind that gets done sitting around, Feng Xin said. Mu Qing didn't bother looking up. Yeah, you can turn it down, but there's nothing else to eat. You can pass out again if you want, but you'll still have to eat this in the end. Feng Xin glared at him. Watch your tone. Shalian had only lived in his ascended being for a few years, but he'd forgotten what it was like to need to eat. A few days ago, he had nearly fainted, and had only realized afterward that he hadn't eaten anything for several days. This was the incident Mu Qing was referring to. Shalian didn't want the two of them to start fighting so early in the morning, so he quickly changed the subject. Let's go. We don't even know if we'll find any work today. Not only had Shalian once been royalty, but he had also once possessed a celestial body that needed no sustenance. Naturally, he'd never needed to worry about working for a living. But now, although he was still a crown prince, the kingdom of Shanla was no more. Although he was still a god, he had long been banished. Since he was essentially no different from a mortal at present, he needed to take care of all the normal matters of living. The trade of a cultivator was usually ghost catching and performing religious services, but it wasn't as though there was a constant supply of nefarious creatures to be exorcised or rituals that needed to be performed every day. Most of the time, they needed to find other temporary work, such as helping transport goods here or performing manual labor there. But even these odd jobs weren't always easy to get. There were far too many displaced, impoverished civilians right now, people who wouldn't even ask for a wage when they saw there was work. They'd be willing to do labor in exchange for a bun or half a bowl of rice. They'd swarm the open positions, and Shalian and his coterie couldn't possibly compete. Even if they managed to grab something, after weighing in the situation, Shalian might decide that someone else needed the work more. Sure enough, they wandered for half the day, and they still found nothing. Can't we find something more stable and respectful to do? Mu Qing grumbled. Rubbish. If something like that existed, we would have found it a long time ago, Feng Xin said. You need to show your face at any respectable job, and who doesn't recognize His Highness? How would any stable work remain that way if he was recognized? Mooching stopped talking, and Shalian wrapped the white bandage covering the lower half of his face tighter. Indeed, they would have to flee if anyone recognized who he was, or they'd risk being beaten and chased away. Even if they applied for work as armed escorts, what employer would be comfortable hiring someone with an unknown background who wouldn't show his face? They couldn't exactly take up work as hitmen either, so their choices were very limited. Gods didn't need to worry about hunger, but mortals needed to eat. Shalian had never had to consider these matters when he was young, so this was the first time in decades that such a problem really seized him. Still, how could a god possibly understand the feelings of a starving devotee? How could a god possibly understand the feelings of a starving devotee if they didn't even know how it felt? How could they possibly empathize? At this point, he could only try to think of this experience as a form of training. A sudden cacophony of gongs and drums came not far away, and a large crowd started to gather to see what was happening. The three followed along and went over to watch. A few clowns and martial artists were hollering with all their might. They were Marshall Street buskers. T says, I love that the implication that becoming hitmen was briefly discussed. Yes. Yeah, can you guess what Shalian's gonna end up doing for money? If all else fails, why don't we go busk? Mooching tried, suggesting, not for the first time. Shalian was considering the same thing, but Feng Jin spoke up before he could respond. Don't be silly, he said as he watched the buskers perform. His Highness is highborn. How could he do something like that? Mooching rolled his eyes. We've already carried bricks, so how is busking any different? By carrying bricks, we feed ourselves using our own physical strength, Feng Xin said. Busking is entertainment for the masses. We would be forced to act as fools purely for their amusement. Of course it's different. One of the clowns who was hopping around tripped and fell. The crowd roared with laughter as he pulled himself up and bent at the waist to bow, then picked up some scattered coins the crowd tossed to the ground. A deep discomfort surfaced in Shalian's mind at the sight, and he shook his head forcefully, striking out busking as a viable path of employment. Fine, Mooching replied, squinting at the display. Then let's start pawning stuff. If I had a nickel for every Danmei that had an uncomfortable busking scene, I'd have 2 nickels. Can you guess what the other one was? The other one's way sadder, though. We've already pawned a lot of stuff, Feng Xin said. Otherwise, we wouldn't have made it until now. Anything that's left can't be pawned. Yes, Annika got it. At that instant, surprised shouts rippled across the crowd. Someone yelled, "The soldiers are here! The soldiers are here!" With that, the crowd broke up. Soon, a band of soldiers strutted down the street with an impressive air, holding weapons in their hands and sporting shiny new armor. They were interrogating anyone who appeared suspicious. Shalian and his coterie had hid in the crowd and overheard the conversations of the people nearby. Who are they after? Don't worry, they're not here to arrest us. I heard they're trying to capture the Shanlo royals who are still at large. Apparently some saw suspicious characters around here, so the city's been really strict with the searches lately. Really? My goodness, did they actually flee here? Shalian and his companions exchanged looks. Orion says, Feng Xin really does have a lofty idea of Shalian and the royals at this point. Like, you need money for food. Let the man juggle a bit. I know, right? I like it, though. I love that he sees Shalian as someone that can't, it's like, it's interesting just as a foil to Hua Cheng's devotion, at the very least. It's cute. Oh yeah, I was thinking about, I won't spoil anything, I guess. Not the creatures at the beginning. That part's fucked up. But it's like actual busking. You know it. Let's hurry back and check on things, Shalian whispered. The other two nodded. They silently left the crowd, splitting up. They only met again after they'd walked a fair distance and confirmed they hadn't attracted any attention, and once reunited, they hurried away. They ran until they reached a small mountain forest out in the middle of nowhere. Shalian could see a thick column of smoke coming from within the trees, and terror struck him. Could the Young Ant soldiers have already discovered this place and set fires to kill them off? They rushed until they found a run-down little cottage hidden in the trees, left behind by some unknown hunter. The thick smoke was coming from inside the cottage. "Mother!" Shalian blurted. "What's going on? Are you there?" A woman immediately emerged and greeted him happily. "My son, you've come!" It was the queen. She was dressed in simple clothes and had grown quite thin. She looked fairly different from the noble lady she'd once been. Seeing that his mother was fine and that her face was full of delight, Shalian relaxed, but he quickly asked, "What's with the smoke?" "It's nothing, really. I just wanted to do a little cooking today." ... the queen replied, embarrassed. Shalian didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Count it! Where do you think Shalian got his bad cooking genes from? Yes, Rogue says, "Oh no, it's genetic." So cute. 34.5. All right. Don't! What cooking? Just eat the food Feng Xin and Mu Qing bring you every day. The smoke is too conspicuous. Where there's smoke, there's people. You'll attract the Young Ant soldiers. We bumped into them in the city earlier. This city is tightening its security, so we'll need to move again. Feng Xin and Mu Qing entered the cottage to extinguish the source of smoke. The queen didn't dare to be negligent either, so she went to the back room of the cottage to talk to the king. Feng Xin came back outside. "Your Highness, you aren't going inside to see His Majesty?" he whispered. Shalian shook his head. "No." The two of them, father and son, one the king of a fallen kingdom and the other a banished god. It was hard to say which was the more pathetic, the more disgraced of the pair. If they were forced to sit down and face each other, they'd only glare at one another instead of having a heart-to-heart. Avoiding that confrontation entirely was for the best. "Mother, why don't you start getting packed? We'll leave today," Shalian called out. "We'll come pick you up in the evening and head out." The queen hurried outside again. "My son, you're leaving so soon? You haven't visited in days. Why leave so quickly?" "I have to go train," Shalian said. In truth, he was going to look for work. They couldn't possibly support this many people if he didn't. "Have you eaten yet this morning?" the queen asked. Shalian shook his head. The three of them were starving. "That's terrible for your body," the queen said. "Fortunately, I just stewed a pot of congee. Come in and grab a bite." Shalian wondered, why was there so much smoke if it was just a pot of congee? It looked like an entire palace was in flames. The queen turned to Feng Xin and Mu Qing. "You two children come eat with us too." Feng Xin and Mu Qing hadn't at all expected to receive such treatment and tried to decline, but the queen was adamant. The two could only timidly sit down at the table, feeling rather surprised, in a good way. But when the queen brought the pot over, their surprise soon turned to dread. Even after they got back to the city, Mu Qing's stomach was still churning. "I thought the congee smelled like bran water, but I hadn't imagined it tasted like it too," he said, stumbling over his words. Feng Xin gritted his teeth. "Shut up! Don't force us to remember that stuff. The queen is high-born after all, never cooked. This is already... Ugh!" Mu Qing humphed. "Am I wrong? If you don't think it tasted like bran water, why don't you go ask the queen to grant you another bowl? Ugh!" The two were heaving as they argued back and forth, and Shalian grabbed a hold of both of them to pat their backs. "Get a hold of yourselves. Look up ahead. It seems there's some work available." As the three stumbled over, they could see a couple of little ringleaders shouting on the streets, looking for hired help. The pay was fairly decent. There wasn't a limit on the number of hands needed. They would take anyone who came. The three of them quickly signed up and joined the large group of disheveled, bone-skinny paupers. They were led to a muddy, empty field. It seemed the landowner intended to build a new residence here, so the area needed to be overhauled, and filling in the grounds came first. The trio worked hard, and they were quickly covered in mud. Feng Xin hauled earth as he hugged his stomach, his face green and his mouth cursing. "Fuck me! I think the pot of stewed bran water turned into a spirit in my stomach." Shalian was carrying a basket full of dirt. He looked back and said in a hushed voice, "Can you hang in there, or do you want to sit down for a bit?" Mu Qing turned to Shalian. "Why don't you go rest?" "No, I can still hang on," Shalian replied. Mu Qing rolled his eyes. Don't be stubborn. I'm the one who has to wash your dirty clothes. I'd rather do your part of the work. It's interesting, because you're like, is Mooching being nice there in his own little roundabout way? Not far in the distance, someone yelled, "Put your backs into it and don't talk! No slacking! You want to get paid?" Function was tenacious and continued to persevere, hauling twice as much mud as he had before. It's not like this pays that well. Why make so much fuss? Who do they think they are? After a grueling day of toil from noon to sunset, the work was finally done. The trio weren't completely physically exhausted, but their hearts were significantly more tired than their bodies. They had worked so hard for only a pittance and a bite to eat. When they were finally free, they laid down to rest on a part of the field that was slightly cleaner. Just then, another rowdy, noisy group approached. Some men had arrived, their pace slow as they hauled a stone statue. Shalian looked up slightly. What statue was that? Mooching glanced at it as well. Maybe a new divine statue to guard this place? Shalian said nothing. If this was the past, the one chosen to watch over a residence would have undoubtedly been one of his own crown prince statues. But now, he didn't know which god it'd be. It was most likely Junwu, or perhaps a newly ascended official. Shalian did nothing for a long moment, but he just couldn't resist wanting to see who had replaced him. He forced himself to stand up and shuffled over to the crowd to take a look. The stone statue's back was facing him, so he couldn't see the face clearly. However, it seemed to be kneeling. Now Shalian was even more curious. Which heavenly official would have a kneeling statue? He circled all the way around to get a better look. When he saw the statue's face, his entire mind went blank. The divine statue's face was his own. The kneeling statue was settled onto the ground, and someone rudely patted its head. Finally got done hauling this thing. This bastard's pretty heavy. Why drag over a statue like this one? It's kind of ugly. Why not get one of the Heavenly Emperor? Isn't that what's-his-face? It's that one, right? Didn't they say that praying to him brings bad luck now? You guys still dare to do it? And going out of your way to transport his statue all this way here? Now, none of you get it. Worshipping a god of misfortune would obviously bring bad luck, but this statue isn't for worshipping. It's for stepping on. If you step on a god of misfortune, doesn't that mean everlasting good fortune is guaranteed? Understanding dawned on the crowd. That's so clever! Brilliant! Function and Mooching could sense something was wrong, and they too fell silent when they saw it. Function was about to explode, but Mooching held him back, warning him with his eyes. The Crown Prince himself hasn't started anything, so why are you The Crown Prince himself hasn't started anything, so what are you going to yell about? He said under his breath. Indeed, he was keeping quiet. Function wasn't sure whether Shalian had a reason to stay silent, so he didn't dare move recklessly and forced himself to swallow his angry words. However, his eyes were blazing like flames. Isn't this so upsetting? Yes, Rogue! Exactly! The scene with Chi-Rong where he has the kneeling Shalian statue. They were all the rage. I love how mad Function is, though. Finally, someone grumbled. Isn't this rather inappropriate? He was once a god, a crown prince. Oh please, Shenla has fallen, so what's he crown prince of? You're wrong, there's nothing inappropriate about stepping on a god of misfortune, another man added. In fact, he should thank us. Shalian suddenly spoke up. Oh? Why should he thank you? Have you seen the thresholds of temples? The man presumptuously began to explain. They're trampled by thousands, hundreds of thousands. And does my lord know how many wealthy households fight to pay for a temple's threshold to act as their substitute? Every step on that threshold will absolve them of a sin, pay a spiritual debt, and earn a merit. This kneeling statue has the same function. If we step on its head or spit on it, aren't we collecting merits for the crown prince? He should thank us. Shalian couldn't listen anymore. His fist was already ready when the man said the word thank, and he lunged. The crowd instantly exploded in excitement. What are you doing? A fight! Who's causing trouble? Function had already been itching to beat people up, so he joined the brawl with a shout. As for Mu Ching, he wasn't sure whether he'd joined of his own volition or he'd been pulled in, but in any case, all three of them started fighting. In the chaos of the brawl, the white bandage on Shalian's face was almost yanked off a number of times. However, it luckily didn't happen. The three of them were skilled in martial arts, but their opponents had the strength of numbers. They had an additional advantage in that Mu Ching held the other two back with warnings that killing mortals would only add to their crimes. The fight ended up being miserably restrained, though gratifying nonetheless, and in the end, the trio was chased off. I love that they did actually get to beat the shit out of these guys. They walked alongside a river for a long while, looking unkempt. Eventually, their steps slowed. We worked so hard all day, but in the end we gained nothing, and all because of a fight, Mu Ching complained angrily, his face black and blue. Feng Xin wiped at the blood on his mouth. How can you bring up money at a time like this? It's precisely because it's a time like this that I need to bring up the money, Mu Ching countered. A time like this? What time is it? A time when we're starving! Whether you want to admit it or not, we can't do anything without money. Couldn't you two have restrained yourselves a little? Shalian didn't speak. How could we? People made statues of him kneeling solely for the purpose of stepping on him, Feng Xin said. You're not the one whose face is being stepped on, so of course you can dismiss it. It's not the first time that something like this has happened since the war was lost, Mu Ching said, and it surely won't be the last. If he can't get used to it soon, he might as well just die. Get used to it? Get used to what? Being humiliated by others? Mortals stepping on his own face? Feng Xin argued, clearly finding the idea offensive. Why should he have to get used to something like that? That's enough! Shalian cried out in irritation. Stop arguing! Is something this small worth fighting over? The two of them shut up at once. Oh, Mu Ching. Mu Ching's such a little bitch. But also, he's like thinking mission focused, you know? He's like, now we don't have any fucking money and we're gonna starve. But yeah. Ah, he's such a bitch. Yeah. If he can't handle it, he should just die. After a pause, Shalian sighed. Let's go find a carriage to pick up Mother and Father. We're leaving the city tonight. All right, Feng Xin acknowledged. Feng Xin and Shalian left off side by side, but they quickly noticed that Mu Ching didn't follow. Shalian looked back, confused. Mu Ching? After a moment of silence, Mu Ching said, Your Highness, I want to talk to you about something. What is it? Shalian asked. What's wrong now? I already said I won't argue with you anymore. What more do you want? Feng Xin said impatiently. I want to leave, Mu Ching said simply. ... Shalian already had a vague, bad feeling before Mu Ching even opened his mouth, but his breath still hitched when his companion actually said it. Feng Xin thought he might have heard wrong. What? What did you say? Mu Ching straightened his back. His obsidian eyes were unyielding, and his demeanor was calm. Please permit me to leave. Leave? Feng Xin exclaimed. What will His Highness do if you leave? What about the king and queen? Mu Ching opened and closed his mouth a couple of times, but in the end, he still said, I'm sorry to ask this, but my hands are tied. No, you explain yourself right now. What the heck do you mean your hands are tied? Feng Xin demanded. The king and queen are His Highness's parents, but I have my own mother to worry about, Mu Ching replied. She also needs my care. I can't neglect my own mother for the sake of someone else, or someone else's parents. I pray your Highness will understand that I cannot stay at your side. Shalian felt faint and leaned against a nearby wall. Is that the real reason? Feng Xin questioned coldly. How come you've never mentioned it before? It is one of my reasons, Mu Ching replied. Another reason is that I feel we've become mirrored in this situation and have very different ideas on how to pull ourselves out. Pardon my honesty, but if we keep going like this, nothing will get better, even in 1,000,000 years. And so our paths have diverged. Feng Xin was so angry he began to laugh. He nodded and turned to Shalian. Your Highness, you hear that? Remember what I said back then? I said he'd be the first to run off if you were ever banished. Didn't I tell you? Muqing seemed aggravated by his words. Please stop trying to guilt-trip me, thanks, he requested flatly. I'm only speaking the truth. Everyone has their own outlook. No one was born to be the center of the world, the justice of the mortal realm. Perhaps you enjoy orbiting around another person, but others might not feel the same. Damn. Well, don't you have a load of sour, veiled excuses. I don't give a damn, Feng Xin said. Is it so hard to admit you're an ungrateful traitor? Enough! At the sound of Shalian's voice, the two of them stopped arguing. Shalian removed his hand from his forehead and turned to Muqing. He stared at him for a while before he spoke. I don't like forcing people. Muqing's lips pursed, but he still stood tall. Go, Shalian said. Muqing looked at him, not saying a word. Then he bowed deeply, turned around, and walked away. Feng Xin stared at his retreating back without blinking as it disappeared into the night. Your Highness, you really let him go just like that? Feng Xin said in disbelief. Shalian sighed. What else can I do? I just said I don't like forcing people. No, but... That bastard! Feng Xin exclaimed. What's with him? He actually left? He ran off? What the fuck? Shalian crouched on the riverside, rubbing his forehead. Never mind it. If his heart has already left us, what's the use in making him stay? Should I tie him up and force him to wash my clothes? Feng Xin didn't know what else to say either and crouched beside him. A moment later, he spat angrily. God damn it! That bastard was happy to share the wealth, but not the suffering. He ran away the moment things got tough. Does he remember nothing of your kindness? I'm the one who told him not to remember it, Shalian said. So, you don't need to bring it up constantly. But he couldn't possibly forget it for real, Feng Xin refuted. What the actual fuck? Don't you worry, Your Highness. I will never, ever leave you. Shalian forced a small smile, but said nothing. Feng Xin stood back up. Shall we go pick up the king and queen? I'll find a carriage. You just wait here. Shalian nodded. Thanks. Be careful. Oh, man. Feng Xin is super fucked up about this. Also, do you guys remember we got a little glimpse of this in like the previous chapter? It's like what they were fighting over. Remember Muqing was like, oh my god, you're bringing that up? Rogue says, everyone is acting exactly how I would anticipate, but my heart. Right? Feng Xin acknowledged him and left. Shalian also rose to his feet and walked alongside the river for a while. His whole body still felt a little unsteady, like nothing was real. Muqing's departure had truly shocked him to the core. He never expected someone so close to him to leave just like that. Shalian had always believed in forever. Friends would always be friends forever, with no betrayal, no deception, no breaking up. Perhaps there would come a time when they had to part, but it wouldn't be for a reason like things got too horrible. In all the stories he's read, the hero and the beauty were a match made in heaven. They never parted and would remain true to each other forever and ever. And if they couldn't, it wouldn't be because they were forced apart by a tragic death, and not because the hero preferred to eat meat while the beauty preferred fish, or because the hero scorned the beauty for spending too lavishly and the beauty scorned the hero for his bad habits. It wasn't a pleasant feeling to lose your footing and plunge millions of miles, only to find yourself still in the mortal realm when you hit the ground. As Shalian randomly wandered, he suddenly saw shimmering golden lights floating ahead. The sight snapped Shalian out of his haze. On closer inspection, he saw the lights were lanterns. Lantern after lantern floated on the water, drifting with the river's current. There was a pair of children laughing and playing by the riverside. Ah, today is Zhang Yuan. Shalian remembered. There had been a grand service at the Royal Holy Temple for the Zhongyuan festival every year. He'd always looked forward to it and would have never just forgotten. But now it had completely slipped his mind. He shook his head and continued on his way. Just then, a voice from the road ahead. Kids, wanna buy one? The voice was extremely old and raspy, and it was laced with eerie ghost chi. Shalian instinctively knew something wasn't right. He looked over to see two children with lanterns in their hands stopped by the roadside. They were staring at something with curiosity and fear. Someone was seated in the darkness in front of them. He seemed to be an old man, unkempt and dressed in black robes that allowed him to blend in with equally black night. With an unlit lantern in his hand, he beckoned the two children in a shady manner. My lanterns are very different from the ordinary lanterns you're holding, I tell ya. These are rare treasures. If you make a wish on them, it's guaranteed to come true. The two small children seemed doubtful. Really? Of course, the old man said. Look. The lantern in his hand was clearly not lit, but it glowed just then with an ominous red light. There were over a dozen other lanterns on the ground next to him, and they began to flicker haunting green. It was a terribly eerie sight. The two small children were amazed, but Shalian knew exactly what he was looking at. Rare treasures? That was clearly phosphorescence from the souls of the dead. Put some ghost flames in the chat. A little ghost soul must have been sealed into that lantern for it to glow with such a peculiar, ominous light. As for the old man, he had to be some sketchy scam cultivator who had captured those unlucky wandering spirits from somewhere and sealed them into the lanterns. The two children didn't know about those sorts of tricks and clapped in delight, wanting to buy the lanterns. Shalian quickly rushed over. Don't buy them! He's lying to you! The old man glared. What are you talking about, boy? These lanterns aren't treasures, they're wicked contraptions, Shalian stated plainly. There are ghosts sealed inside them, and the spirits will cling to you if you bring one home to play with. When the children heard that they were ghosts, they didn't dare linger. They ran away, wailing as they went. The old man leapt to his feet, yelling angrily, You dare ruin my business? How could you run such a business? Even adults who bought your wicked lanterns would fall into great misfortune, and you sell them to ignorant children? Vengeful ghosts could cling to them, Shalian lectured. And wouldn't that be a great wrong? If you must sell such things, you should sell them in a specialized market. You make it sound so easy. Where would I even find a specialized market to sell such things? The old man rebuked him. Everyone just sets up shop randomly on the roadside. He gathered up his supremely ugly, poorly made lanterns, preparing to leave with a huff. Wait! Shalian hastily called out. What? What do you want? The old man said gruffly. Are you gonna buy? Unbelievable. Do you actually plan to try to sell these somewhere else? Where did the ghosts in your lanterns come from? I caught them on the barren battlefield. They're everywhere, the old man replied. Then they were the wandering souls of deceased soldiers? Once he heard that, it was impossible for Shalian to leave the matter alone. Stop selling them. Today is Zhongyuan. It won't be a laughing matter if you stir something up. Besides, those are the heroic souls of warriors. How could you sell them like trinkets? Shalian admonished solemnly. When people die, they become nothing but wisps. Who cares if they're heroic souls? The old man said. My old bones are more important. We all gotta make a living, so what am I gonna do if you don't let me sell? Be homeless? If you're so passionate about this, why don't you buy them all, huh? You... In the end, Shalian admitted defeat. Fine, I'll buy. He reached into his pockets and scoured every corner, digging out a few pennies. Is this enough? The old man glanced at the money and exclaimed, Of course not! How could that pittance be enough? Shalian didn't know what over a dozen lanterns would normally cost. He'd never looked at the price when he purchased things in the past. However, his woeful situation was providing him a chance to learn how to bargain the hard way. Your lanterns aren't pretty or well-made. They're very unlucky. You might as well sell them for me for cheap. They're already priced this load, and you're offering less, the old man argued. I've never met anyone as broke as you. How embarrassing. Shalian could feel shame dig into his skin at those words. I'm a crown prince, I'm telling you. Never in my life has anyone called me broke. He regretted his words as soon as he spoke them. However, the old man didn't take him seriously at all and laughed. If you're the crown prince, then I'm the good old emperor. Shalian was relieved at his reaction, but also felt a little awkward. Though at that point, what did he have to lose? "Will you sell? This is all the money I've got," he said plainly. After much haggling, they finally completed the transaction, and Shalian used that pathetically sad bit of money to buy over a dozen ghost lanterns. He brought the lanterns to the riverside. The old man ran off in a flash the moment he got the money, while Shalian sat down by the shore and began to untie each red knot wrapping the lanterns. He released all the little ghosts sealed inside and performed a simple service for them. Haunting wisps of ghost fire floated from the lanterns. All of these souls were newly coalesced ghosts who had passed away very recently. They were bleary and unfocused, with no clear consciousnesses of their own, and were very feeble still, which was why the old man had captured them so easily. When they were released from their cramped lanterns, they all swarmed around Shalian, circling him affectionately, and even nuzzling him every so often. Shalian rose to his feet and urged softly, "Go on, go." Aided by the gentle push of Shalian's hand, the spirits rose higher and higher, floating toward the horizon and gradually dissipating. This was known as spirits returning to the world. They had moved on and were no more. Shalian gazed at the starry sky for a long time before he heard a tiny voice calling out behind him. "Your Highness." Shalian blinked and turned to look for the source of the voice. Only then did he notice that one tiny ball of ghost fire had remained with him. It hadn't climbed into the sky, nor dissipated into embers. The little ghost seemed stronger than the others. Not only did it possess its own consciousness, it could also speak. Shalian walked over, bewildered. "Were you the one calling me just now? You recognize me?" The little ball of ghost fire became quite lively upon being noticed, jumping up and down. Judging by its voice, it seemed to be a young man like Shalian. "Of course I recognize you." Shalian only felt more awkward when he remembered that he was covered in mud and looked so strange. He clenched his hand and pressed his fist against his lips. He really didn't want to admit to his identity and thought to instead tell the ghost fire that it was mistaken. A moment later, he schooled his expression. "Why did you stay? Didn't I send you off? Did I miss a step, maybe?" If he hadn't missed a step during the service, why would one of them still be here? The nameless ghost floated before him, not too close, not too far. "No, you've done nothing wrong. I didn't want to leave, that's all," it answered. "Do you have an unfulfilled wish or some attachment?" Shalian mused. "Yes," the nameless ghost replied. "Then why don't you tell me what it is?" Shalian asked. "If it's not too difficult, I'll do my best to help you." Behind the nameless ghost, 3,000 lanterns flowed languidly through the night. The nameless ghost said, "I have a beloved who is still in this world." After some silence, Shalian said, "I see. Is it your wife?" "No, Your Highness. We were never married." "Ah. In fact, I might not even be remembered," the nameless ghost said. "We never really talked." "You never really talked?" Shalian thought. "Then how did this person become the beloved that tied your spirit to the world? What beauty must they possess?" Humming for a moment, Shalian said, "So then, what is your wish?" "I want to protect them," the nameless ghost answered. Usually, such a spirit's wish would be something like, "I want to tell her I love her," or "I want to spend some romantic time with her," or occasionally something more frightening like, "I want her to accompany me down below." A wish to protect someone was quite rare, and Shalian was a little stunned. "Aw, thank you, Caro Ace." "But you no longer belong to this world." "What of it?" the nameless ghost replied. "If you force your soul to remain, you won't be able to rest in peace," Shalian said. The nameless ghost didn't seem to care. "I'm willing to never rest in peace." This wandering wisp of a spirit was surprisingly stubborn. Such a willful spirit was typically extremely dangerous, but for some reason, Shalian didn't sense any murderous intent from it, so he wasn't concerned. "If your beloved knew you couldn't rest in peace because of them, they might feel troubled and guilty," Shalian continued. "Look at our boy, he's just a little ghost flame." You can see he's got little eyes and a mouth, kind of. Oh. He's just a little ghost flame. Also, take note, it also mentioned that it was 3,000 lanterns. Okay, we got 2 pages left. The nameless ghost hesitated for a moment, but replied, "Then I just won't let them know why I haven't left." "If you meet too often, they'll find out sooner or later," Shalian said. "Then I won't let them know I'm protecting them either," the nameless ghost replied. Something stirred within Shalian's heart. He could tell that this young man's love wasn't just talk. The lanterns had contained wandering spirits that the old man had captured from the barren battlefield, so the one before him now must have been a young warrior. "The war separated you from your beloved. I'm sorry I didn't win," Shalian said quietly. However, the nameless ghost declared, "To die in battle for you is my greatest honor." Shalian was stunned. "To die in battle for the crown prince is the greatest honor for a Shanla soldier," was the slogan that some general from Shanla had taught the troops. They used it to hype them up for a fight, proclaiming that if they died, they would die for a purpose, and in death they would pass on to the immortal realm. That was, of course, a lie. Yet, even though this young soldier had passed away and his soul had been set adrift in the mortal realm, he still remembered the phrase so clearly, and said it with such solemnity and sincerity. Shalian felt the rims of his eyes grow hot, and his vision went blurry. "I'm sorry," he replied. "Forget me." The nameless ghost's flickering flames flared brighter. "I won't forget. Your Highness, I am forever your most devoted believer." Shalian forced down a sob. "I've already lost all my believers. Believing in me won't do you any good. It might even bring disaster. Did you know? Even my friend has left me." The nameless ghost declared as if swearing an oath, "I won't." "You will," Shalian said. The ghost was insistent. "Believe me, Your Highness." "I don't," Shalian said. He no longer believed in anyone, especially himself. Oh! Ending it on a rather sad one tonight. Oh my god. So many incredibly good lines were just said by little Ghost Flame. Oh, man. Caraway says, "I love that Shalian was accidentally the one who encouraged him to not admit that he was protecting his love." Yeah. And Hwa-Chang being like, "Yeah, I'll never tell him." Rogue says, "This arc is going to make me go insane. I'm going to be crushed. I can't wait." Yeah. Oh, man. It's so good. It's really good. It's so good. Ugh. All right, friends. Well, we're going to be back again tomorrow, same time, to do some more reading. And there won't be a members-only stream this week, which means we have 2 to make up for. So next week, I believe we will do some members-only stuff. And that'll be fun. I'm excited to hang out with everybody, play some games. Rachel says, "Kicker, this was my first stream. This was such an amazing experience. Love to meet you all. Hwa-Chang makes my heart warm with his determination." Oh, Rachel, that's awesome. Thanks for coming to join the stream. I'm glad you had a good time. And yeah, Hwa-Chang's his determination is it's so good. I love how it's unwavering, and we're getting to see how everyone around Shalian is failing him, but and even Shalian not believing in himself is so upsetting. Like, oh my god. But don't worry, Hwa-Chang fucking loves him. He'll never forget you. I'll never forget you. He's so good. All right, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Bye.